Lately, you've been feeling like the person you once held so close is slipping away from you, as if they're running in the opposite direction or have lost all interest. This feeling is painful and confusing, especially after everything you both have been through. But what you may not realize is that, deep within them, they are feeling something entirely different. While you interpret their silence or distance as disinterest, they are actually overwhelmed by fear. The fear of losing you entirely because of the long and painful separation between you two. This space and time apart has become a heavy burden on their heart, and they're beginning to understand just how deeply they regret letting you go. They didn't fully grasp the consequences of their decision until you began to emotionally detach. They thought they could move on, or maybe they told themselves they were doing the right thing by walking away. But that illusion has now crumbled. They've come to realize that their choice to leave you was not just impulsive, it was rooted in immaturity and ego. They see now how much damage they caused, not just to the relationship, but to your trust and to your heart. They left things unsaid, promises unfulfilled, and wounds wide open, and now they're haunted by the silence that lingers between you both. They understand why you're guarded now, why you're thinking with your head instead of your heart. You're no longer the same person who once loved them with open arms. You're wiser now, more aware of your worth, and they know they've pushed you to that point. There's a growing sense of shame within them as they reflect on the way they lied, the way they betrayed your trust. They feel they committed a deep injustice, not only because they cheated or misled you, but because they took advantage of your kindness. You were the one person who truly had their back, who loved them with sincerity, and who offered them stability when their world felt chaotic. You were trustworthy, reliable, and gentle in ways that are rare to find, and they didn't see the value of that until it was too late. When you finally turned your back and chose to walk away from the pain, that's when reality hit them. It was in your absence that they began to feel the emptiness. They started looking for you in every person they met, searching for pieces of you in strangers, hoping to replicate the warmth and comfort you once gave so freely. But no one compares to you. No one makes them feel safe, seen, or understood the way you did. Every embrace feels empty. Every new connection falls short. They are haunted by the memory of what they had with you and what they so carelessly let slip through their fingers. You were their home, their safe place. You were the light in their life, the joy they often took for granted. Without you, their world has become dull, clouded with negativity and sadness. The laughter they once shared with you has been replaced with silence. The comfort of your presence has been replaced by loneliness. And even though they try to mask their pain, even if they appear indifferent on the outside, inside they are aching with regret and remorse. They feel it in their chest, the weight of the pain, the sharpness of the loss. They now understand that what they did to you was not only wrong, but unforgivable in many ways. They betrayed someone who loved them purely and unconditionally. And now that they've lost you, they've also lost the best part of themselves. You were the person who brought out their softer side, who gave them hope even in the darkest times. You believed in them when they didn't believe in themselves. But they let their ego speak louder than their heart, and because of that, they lost something truly special. Now, they're left sitting in the aftermath of their own decisions, wishing they could go back and rewrite the past. But time doesn't offer that luxury. All they can do is live with the consequences and carry the pain of losing someone who was once the most important person in their life. They know they've lost the privilege of having that sacred place in your heart, and it's a loss that continues to haunt them every single day. I am a lost soul. Ever since I left, I've been drifting through life, wandering aimlessly, like a ship without a compass, swallowed by a sea of confusion. My days blur together, each one as empty and uncertain as the last. I move through this world as if in a daze, searching for something I can't quite name, something I once had, something I let go of. That something was you. You were home to me. Not just a place, not just a person, but a feeling. A safety I had never known before. In a world where fear and worry constantly gnaw at the edges of our peace, you were my sanctuary. With you, I could breathe. I could rest. I could simply be. Your presence quieted the storm inside me. But even in that calm, something within me stirred, a restlessness, a fear, a disbelief that something so good, so beautiful, could be mine. And so, despite everything, I ran. I didn't run because of you. I ran because of me. Because it all felt too good to be true. Because I've never known love that didn't come with conditions, pain, or eventual disappointment. Your love was so pure, so consuming, that it scared me. It didn't just touch me, it infiltrated me. It sank into every corner of my being, filling up spaces I hadn't even known were empty. It was intoxicating. I felt it in my bones, in my breath, in the way my heart raced when I thought of you. It took over my body, my mind, my thoughts, my soul. And in that overwhelming tide, I lost myself. I wasn't strong enough to stand in the presence of a love that powerful. It made me weak, not because it harmed me, but because it revealed me. It pulled back every layer I had built for protection and laid bare the raw, vulnerable truth of who I am. I couldn't hide from it, and I wasn't ready to face it. Your love disarmed me. It made me powerless, not in a way that hurt me, but in a way that made me feel exposed. Like I was standing naked under the sun, seen for the first time, without disguise or defense. I didn't expect to fall in love with you so quickly. I didn't plan it. I didn't even believe something like that could happen to someone like me. But it did. It hit me like a wave I never saw coming. Before I could catch my breath, I was submerged. And that terrified me. I panicked. I retreated. I ran, not because I didn't love you, but because I did. So deeply, so uncontrollably, that it shook the very foundation of everything I thought I knew about myself, about love, about what I deserved. So I left. I disappeared into the distance, hoping that if I ran far enough, I could outrun the vulnerability, the intensity, the aching beauty of what we had. But I couldn't. I'm still haunted by your absence. I feel it in every quiet moment, in every place I go that somehow feels colder, emptier, dimmer without you in it. The truth is, I didn't just leave you, I left myself. And now I sit here, alone. Deprived of your love, stripped of that sense of safety and warmth I once knew so intimately. I am hollow. Lost. A shadow of the man I was when I was with you. And I know, none of this makes sense. Not to you, not even to me. I can't explain it, can't justify it, can't wrap it in logic or reason. All I know is that I miss you with every fiber of my being, and yet I still don't know how to come back. Not because I don't want to, but because I fear I'm still not worthy of that kind of love. But maybe this pain, this solitude, has a purpose. Maybe this is part of the awakening. Because something inside me has shifted. There's a fire in me now, a flickering ember that wasn't there before. A whisper telling me that this love wasn't just a coincidence, wasn't just fleeting. It was meant to ignite something in me. And it has. Slowly, painfully, but undeniably. That's what twin flame love does, it strips you bare, breaks you open, and forces you to meet the truth within yourself. It's not always gentle, but it is always real. So here I am, your divine masculine, writing these words not to seek your pity, not to beg for your return, but to let you know, I see it now. I see what we were, what we are, and what we could be. And though I am still lost, I am also awakening. This journey isn't over. In fact, I believe it's only just begun. And maybe, just maybe, the path I walk will lead me back to you. There was a time in your life when you often accepted less than what you truly deserved. Whether it was in relationships, opportunities, or how people treated you, you settled, not because you lacked ambition or self-awareness, but because you were willing to compromise for the sake of peace, connection, or love. You showed satisfaction even when deep down, you knew you were worth more. You chose understanding over confrontation and patience over demand. But that phase of your life has passed. You have evolved, and you are no longer that person. Now, you are no longer ready to accept anything that doesn't align with your true worth. You've come to understand that settling for less does not make you selfless, it only diminishes your light. Your journey, filled with its fair share of heartbreak, disappointment, and emotional battles, has taught you invaluable lessons. Each experience has been a stepping stone, shaping the person you are today. This newfound self-respect radiates from within you. It's visible in the way you speak, the choices you make, and the energy you carry. And more importantly, it's something your partner has noticed and deeply admires. In fact, your partner had always hoped for this transformation. Not because they didn't love you as you were, but because they knew what you were capable of becoming. They always wanted you to recognize your power, your strength, and your inherent value. They believed in you, even when you hadn't yet fully believed in yourself. Now that you've stepped into this higher version of yourself, they see you in an entirely new light. To them, you've become the one, not just a lover or companion, but someone who truly knows who she is and what she stands for. A partner with whom they can envision building a life rooted in mutual respect, honesty, and emotional depth. Your growth hasn't gone unnoticed. Your partner can see it in your words, your silence, your reactions, and your boundaries. You are an affectionate, loving person with so much to give, but now, you're giving from a place of strength, not desperation. You've always had a nurturing heart, but now it's protected by a mind that knows its value. Your intuition has sharpened, and you've become more grounded in who you are. You're not swayed by empty promises or sweet talk. You seek authenticity, and you're not afraid to walk away from anything that doesn't serve your higher self. Your partner knows that when they come to you this time, and they will have to come with clarity, honesty, and intent. There will be no room for half-truths or vague gestures. They understand that you're not the same person who once gave without questioning, who loved without boundaries, who forgave without healing. This time, you will demand answers. You will seek truth, and you will expect emotional maturity. And they are not afraid of that. In fact, they are inspired by it. Your transformation challenges them to grow as well, to meet you at your level, to match your energy with equal depth and seriousness. As you continue on your personal journey, you've started manifesting more than just emotional clarity, you're attracting abundance, wealth, and opportunities into your life. The universe responds to self-worth, and it's no coincidence that as you've raised your standards, your life has begun to reflect those higher frequencies. You're putting in the work, not just emotionally, but mentally and spiritually. And your partner sees it all. They admire your commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. They see the late nights, the quiet battles, the moments you chose growth over comfort. Gone are the days when you would tolerate mistreatment simply because of love or attachment. You no longer confuse connection with compatibility. Just because someone holds a special place in your heart doesn't mean they have a right to disrespect your boundaries. You've come to understand that love is not about losing yourself for someone else, It's about standing firm in who you are while allowing someone to meet you there. And if they can't, you're no longer afraid to walk away. What sets you apart now is your ability to speak your mind without filter, to express yourself raw and real. You no longer sugarcoat your feelings to make others comfortable. You no longer dim your light to help others shine. You've embraced the messy, the honest, the vulnerable parts of yourself, and in doing so, you've found a power that's unshakable. You're not afraid of being misunderstood because you've stopped seeking validation from others. You validate yourself, and that's what truly matters. This version of you is powerful, self-aware, and unapologetically authentic. And your partner sees all of it. They see a woman who has grown through adversity, who has risen from pain, who has learned to love herself fiercely. They don't just want to be with you, they want to rise with you, evolve with you, and build a future rooted in mutual growth. You are no longer who you once were, and that is your greatest strength. You've become a woman who knows her worth, and refuses to settle for anything less.